there in Europe.
And while Jurgen Klopp is all smiles, will Brentford feel that they should have taken more from that game?
Yeah, they sort of huffed and puffed second half, but Alisson didn't make loads of amazing saves and stuff. They didn't create too many chances, but you know, that's 6 wins on the bounce for Liverpool. They've still got a great chance of definitely European football. Have they left it too late for Champions League football? That's the big question.
Yeah.
But all they can do is win their games. As Robbie says, we're at the business end of the season now. They keep winning the games, point behind Man United, and for sure Man United looking over the shoulder.
And that game at Anfield means we are halfway through this match week, spread over the next couple of days. Earlier today, Frank Lampard picked up his first league win as Chelsea's interim coach at Bournemouth, thanks to 2 late goals. Manchester City getting a big win in the title race, but were made to sweat late on against Leeds after seeing a penalty saved, and then Leeds scoring a minute later with just 8 minutes remaining of that game. Harry Kane's 26th goal of the season proved enough for Spurs in a 1-0 win over Palace. Wolves dented Villa's European hopes with a 1-0 win. Liverpool have just beaten Brentford by the odd goal. 2 big games on Sunday in the race for the top 4. Newcastle hosting Arsenal, West Ham at home to Manchester United, and then on Monday, 4 of the bottom 5 are all in action. Fulham host 16th placed Leicester. It's Brighton against second bottom Everton, and Forest in 18th host bottom club Southampton. So Manchester City are 4 points clear of Arsenal at the summit, which is their biggest lead they've had this season, with both now having played 34 games. Liverpool in 5th now have 62 points. They go to within a point of Manchester United in that final Champions League place. United don't have those 2 games in hand. Spurs are up to 6th on 57 points, having played 3 more games than Brighton in 7th. Leeds were the only team in the bottom 6 to play today. They stay 17th, just above the relegation zone on goal difference. Wolves move up to 13th on 40 points, 10 points clear of the bottom 3. They're all but safe. Chelsea 11th after their win today. They're on 42 points.
Milestones and records for you with that goal, but is the most important thing what it means for the team, and that, of course, is 3 points.
Yeah, of course. Like, we need to keep winning, so that was the main thing for us today, and I'm glad that we did. So nothing mattered more than 3 points, which what we did today. Was everybody was having dressing room. That's great. So we just need to keep going.
That said, are you aware of what you've achieved, or would you like me to run you through it?
Which one? No, you run me through it.
So, firstly, 100 Anfield goals, really writing yourself even further into this club's history. What does that mean?
It means a lot to me. Like I said before, I feel home here. I'm happy, and hopefully we just need to finish the season the best possible way. But as much as I'm scoring goals, team-winning games, that's the most important thing.
Okay. It's also 30 goals for the season, 4th time in 6 seasons, and 9 home games in a row that you've scored in, and no one's ever done that for Liverpool before.
Well, it's something make me proud, to be fair. I work really hard, and everybody knows that, everybody sees that. And I'm just motivated just to keep breaking record and just scoring goals and win games for the team.
That kind of goal, is it a good goal for a forward? You know, you need the scruffy ones. We see plenty of brilliant ones as well.
Yeah, I would like to score better than that, but I take it to get us 3 points, which is a really important goal. So, yeah.
What did the goalkeeper say to you? I saw you chatting with him as you walked off. What was he saying? You kicked it out of my hand?
Yeah, I think he told me I saved it, right? Then I told him, yeah, I think he hit the ball in my knee. So in the end, I was just happy that they scored goals.
What do the points mean, Mo?
The what, sorry?
The points, what do they mean? In terms of top 4, you're just a point behind Man United now.
I take it game by game, and we just see, and we don't want to think further. We just take it game by game, and we see what will happen.
Does it feel a bit more stable now? You've won 6 in a row, a couple of clean sheets this week, and both have been tough games.
Yeah, I think so. I think we improved a lot last couple of weeks. We won 6 in a row, as you said. We had a couple or a few clean sheets, which is really important for us, because once you don't consider goal, you just need to win 1-0, and that's it. That's what happened this game and last game. So yeah, I think we are more stable at the moment in the team, which is we need to carry on, because I think 3 games left, so we just need to carry on.
Do you feel like you're back, you know, old Liverpool, real Liverpool, or is there still a little way to go?
Take it game by game and just see. We don't need to be just overconfidence. I think we train really well, and everybody happy to play. We have a good group. We play together for 5-6 years, so that's the most important thing, that we respect each other and we fight hard, which is what we do.
So on top of everything you've achieved, you're also player of the match.
Oh, thank you.
Got room for that? There's quite a few of them as well.
Thank you.
Well played, mate.
Individual accolades, they're being made almost on a weekly basis since he's been at Liverpool. So there he is. This is the one in terms of Liverpool history. The Liverpool fans will want to see this. Joint fifth, along with Steven Gerrard, 186 goals from 302 appearances. He's not even a striker, and that's quite something, Robbie.
I don't fall into that. He is a striker for me. You know, I know he'll say he's a winger, but he's playing in the offensive part of the pitch. So for me, he's a striker there to score goals, and he is like Liverpool's real talisman who's got all the goals. But I love the fact is, I mean, when I went back to Liverpool, I overtook Kenneth Dalglish, you know, and I was absolutely delighted I got anywhere near, obviously, King Kenny. But you look at him, every single week, you know, we said before, you know, he's putting records out left, right and centre, and there's probably going to be more for him to break. You know, he has been phenomenal for Liverpool.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Patrick asked him there about scoring in 9 consecutive home games just to enforce that legendary status at Liverpool. Is legendary status overplaying it?
I think legend does get used far too much in football now, but what he's achieved and what he's doing at Liverpool, he quite rightly is an absolute Liverpool legend. You know, what he's won, what he's achieved, the records he's had, the goals he's scored, the performances he put in. You know, he's saying there, you know, in terms of, he says all the right things. Professional, he's a real player who the players love having in around the place. And I don't think we give that goal the credit it deserves, actually, because, you know, for all year we've been talking about the incredible appetite and desire Erling Haaland has about getting into the box and scoring little, you know, 2, 3, 4 yard tap-ins. For me, that was what Mo done with that goal. You know, I didn't see it before, but he played the ball to Fabinho, and then Fabinho plays the ball in, and then he has the appetite to get in there, and that tells you that he is an absolute finisher, and he is a goal scorer. So this is why I don't fall into that category of him being not a striker.
Not a striker.
He is for me.
Did you see him becoming so successful in only 7 seasons at Liverpool?
Honestly, no. I think he was a good player, you know, and I think he would score goals. But I don't think anyone would have envisaged where he's got to in the space of time that we've seen him. He has been an absolute phenomenal signing for Liverpool.
Yeah. Tim, there is also a cultural aspect, I think, that Liverpool fans love, particularly around the world. He's a very different individual to those on that list because of where he's from. He's from Africa, because of his background. And I think that almost adds an extra layer to why he's loved, not just at Anfield in Liverpool, but around the globe too.
Absolutely, and he's a humble man, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, it's all about the team. It's not really about himself, but he's got that humility about him. You know, he works so hard without the ball as well. He knows that if he does that for the team, then karma will give him the chances at the other end, and they certainly do. But Robbie's absolutely right. He scores all types of goals, 6-yard box goals, headed goals occasionally, and that left foot. I mean, when he cuts in from the right-hand side, we've seen him score spectacular goals when he's running away from the defence. And he just got that control with his left peg, right foot as well. I mean, he's the all-round striker. He really is an incredible player. But he's got a manager who over the last 6 years where he's been there, it's a poor season this year, but he still scored over 30 goals. So 7 years since Jurgen's been there, they play to his strengths. You know, the rotation of the front three, getting the ball forward early, having a solid base in behind them. The creativity of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson down the flanks helps them come in into that back post and tap things in. So the team has been formed to build it around the likes of Sadio Mane, who they've lost, and the likes of Mo Salah, who they've still got, thankfully. And he's an incredible player. Like I said about a little bit earlier about Harry Kane, where would Liverpool be? Take his goals out. Take his goals out. I mean, it's a huge void. This guy is an incredible player, and he's still got a lot to go.
And because of the differing range of goals that Tim speaks about, he is a goalkeeper's nightmare, right?
Well, he mentions the one we cuts in on his left foot from the wing. He's got options going near post on the goalkeeper, or we've seen a few even in the studio whipping into the far top corner. He's a brilliant player, and you see him, he's top off at the end. Like he's absolutely ripped. He's chiseled. He's dedicated to his sport.
Almost as much as you, Shay.
Yeah. But you can tell, like, you know, people watching, oh, he's lucky maybe getting the right places, but he works his socks off.
Yeah.
You know, we see him on a Saturday or whatever day of the week the game is, and it's the 90 minutes, but it's all the work goes on behind that, the dedication. He's dedicated to the perfection. He's a brilliant player, and he's never in the front page of the newspapers. He's always just making headlines on the back paper. You know, as a manager, he's a manager's dream, isn't he? He's a brilliant Premier League player.
Let's have a look at the all-important goal then from Mo Salah. Robbie, before we get your take, let me ask Tim first. Was there a push in the build-up for you?
I think it's a push. Yeah, I think that
Will Thomas Frank have a
Virgil van
word to
Dijk
say?
would have wanted it if it was in the other box. I think he pushes Ivan Toney. There was not a lot there. It's not enough for him to go down. He tries to buy the foul, tries to encourage the ref to give the foul or the VAR to look at it closely. You can see quite clearly there's two arms in the back of him. He gets a poor position. Great ball from Firmino, and as we talked about, Mo Salah in the 6-yard box. He goes straight up to the referee there. He's talking to him, saying there's two-handed push into my back. Surely the VAR are going to have a look at this. They didn't. They decided that it was too soft. And for me, was it the correct decision? I think it's a 50-50 decision. I'm not feel that strong about it either way. But certainly there was contact into the back of Virgil van Dijk.
Robbie?
Ivan Toney.
Tony, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I could see it if it was chalked off. Yes, I can see why. But for me, I don't think there was enough for him to go down. I think there's a little bit of a delayed reaction by Ivan Toney to fall down. So I think that sort of sways it. But I think if we look at the goal, and this is obviously Mo, look, so he obviously plays the ball to Fabinho. And look, he's got that desire and, you know, appetite to get into the box. And it is a scruffy finish, but it's a great scruffy finish because it's a goal.
Yeah. And he scores his fair share of these, right?
Absolutely. I mean, because he's a good player and, you know, he wants to get into the box, he wants to score. And, OK, I think we can fall into that debate of winger being a striker. But let's draw a line under that, saying, hey, you know what he is? He's a forward.
Yeah.
Right?
Penalty or no penalty? Was it a foul, I should say, rather?
Sorry,
Foul or no foul?
Well, my only argument is, Manish, as the boys rightly say, it could be 50-50. But my argument is, why doesn't the referee just have a look? Because it's such a big moment. It's the key moment in the game. And I'd love to hear Thomas Frank after and what he's going to say. At least go to the monitor and say, no, I'm going to stick with my on-field decision. It's a goal. Or, do you know what? I think there's enough of a push. There's two hands on his back. I think I've got to disallow because it's a big moment in the game.
But there is this fine line, is there not? I think Howard Webb's spoken about it as well, not wanting to re-ref from the VAR.
No, I get that. I
With,
get that. But
if it was a clear,
but Anthony
obvious
Taylor's
error.
view could be skewed by the player that ran across him. He might not have seen the push. And then I think Marner's got to say, have a look. You can still stick with your decision, but have a look at least.
I think it was if it was out the other end, I think Jurgen might have done his other hamstring.
Again. Another thing we saw today, and this has been a recurring theme, particularly in the last 2 months, I think, Trent Alexander-Arnold's influence, hybrid role. He stepped in there today into midfield. It feels like it's been a long time coming, Robbie, but his influence continues to grow game by game.
I think what you see with Trent now, he looks like he's a player who's enjoying where he's playing. So he's getting lots of, you know, opportunities to shine on the ball. And I think Tim said at half-time, you know, his passing ability is probably up there with the best players in the world. So, you know, why wouldn't you play him in there? Because you can sort of open up sort of any avenue in terms of, you know, breaking down defences. But he's just a player who really is on top of his game and enjoying the craft at the minute.
I think it's almost stubbornness that Jurgen doesn't put him in there up to now. It's almost, I mean, Pep Guardiola has shown him the way. You know, them inverted fullbacks playing in midfield, and you've got a player who's he's made for that role.
Particularly when you're lacking creativity in midfield.
Absolutely, someone with his range of passing. For me, I mean, I look at him, and the Liverpool fans won't like it, but he's the nearest thing I've seen to David Beckham. The way he passes the ball, with the range he's got in them wide areas when he whips things around people. This boy moves like Beckham as well. They're not the quickest, but they're not the slowest. But look at the freedom, what he's got now. He's all over the pitch. And he sees simple passes. He plays the correct pass at the right time. He can find the Hollywood pass. If you're a striker, Robbie, and you're playing with this man behind you, all of a sudden, when he gets the ball, you're going to move, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of players in Liverpool's midfield, when they get the ball, they haven't got that range. Now, Fabinho played a great ball into Van Dijk today, but there's a lot of players who are quite stodgy with their passing, basic, but not now. Once Trent goes in there, he's got all the range. He's got every pass he's got every club in the bag.
Yeah. Well, it's a win that puts Liverpool to putting the pressure on those in the top four. They go to within a point.
I think we definitely could have gotten something out of it. I think our high pressure was very good. I think we frustrated them a lot there. Close to winning high a few times and create even more problems for them. I think in first half they only have the goal. A Nunez chance, that's it, where they normally start very fast. And the goal is second phase on a set piece. That is disappointing. We can't do a little bit more. But second half, I think we were creating a lot of problems for Liverpool. And throughout the game, if the two centre backs, number 6 and the goalkeeper, get a yellow card, you must have done something right that created problem for them. And if you give Alisson a yellow card for time wasting at Anfield and we're Brentford, then I think it's okay. Of course, we want more. And if I should say one thing, it was final quality in the pass or the cross they could have created. Maybe 2 more opportunities that could have given us bigger possibility to score that, equalize, and then see what's happening. And then we have a goal just disallowed by this.
Position maintenant. Alors que se passe-t-il? Le buteur Hakim Ziyech est resté au sol.